Hi guys!
Hey y'all!
Welcome back to Y'all Hearing This. My name is Kay. Thank you so much for coming back and joining us.
Yes, and my name is Honeybee, or you can call me Bean, whichever you choose is alright with who? Us! Yes!
Nice. So we are here. Every Wednesday we do a bit of a deeper dive into a group. And this week's Artist of the Week is Twice. We watch a couple MVs. We watch a dance practice alive. We do a guide. And now we're here on our podcast.
Yes, we are.
Yes, exactly. So super excited to get into this one this week. We just really had a great time watching all the MVs, the dances, the lives.
Super dope.
And the guide was so much fun too.
It really was. And what I also really liked about the guide was the simple fact that we got to know them as individual members. We got to know their personalities. I feel like we really got to know just what the essence of Twice is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And granted, it didn't really touch base on their musical, you know what I mean, side of things. But I feel like in this day and age, and I feel like you can definitely speak on it, is have you noticed how all the guys that we've been seeing as of lately, obviously there's so many different ones out there, but I feel like a lot of the guys that we've seen, especially with members of large groups, a lot of them have been really focused on their personalities. I mean, it explains what their part of the group is and where they, you know, their talents come into play. But I feel like it's really like, I don't know if this generation is really about like connecting personally.
Yeah.
More than, I wouldn't say more than, but I feel like it's back in the day, it was like music was first. Now it's like, do I relate to you as a person? And then, okay, I messes with your music.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Do you agree with that? Or like,
so I think it depends on the guides. Yeah, no, I do for sure. I think it really depends on the guide because I have seen ones that are very music focused, but I know a lot of people don't like to be spoiled. So when you're watching a guide, it's usually like the first thing you're kind of learning about the group. Like maybe you watched a music video or two, or you heard a song or something, but now you're watching this to kind of get to know the group. But you don't want every single song spoiled for you.
I feel that.
You know,
I feel that.
So I know that happens a lot, you know, so that I can see that's why I really do like the unhelpful guides. I find those are more like this, more kind of focused on like I think the helpful guide, like so-called, is more about like the music and kind of like, this is when they debuted and this is blah, 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 blah. And the unhelpful guides are more like, here's the chaos of the group. Enjoy, you know, which I'm all here for. I love a chaotic group.
I feel like too, what this guide for me made me think of, just going back on that idea as well, is the simple fact that, and because you just made a really good point, like, I'm that person where I'm like, ooh, I don't want to be spoiled. Like, I do want to, like, I would love to know the album names or stuff, but like, maybe not play the songs. Like, maybe just be like, check this out, whatever. Yeah,
that's a really dry way of doing it.
It is. It's a dry way, but it's, I mean, there's a way that you have to find how to make it work. And I think the reason is because for me, we've said this before, I feel like there's the mystique when it comes to the music industry is kind of like gone now because everything is so open and out there. So I feel like I miss that. And watching this guide specifically about Twice, it was like, I felt that mystique because now we just watched and learned all about them. And I'm like, oh my God, I really want to hear their music. Or now I'm like, ooh, I want to hear like that mystique, that mystery, that like, I miss that. And that is what I felt watching this guide and any of the unhelpful guides. Yeah. Because it really focuses on like the chaos, like you said, like the personalities, the stock.
And you might get like a snippet of like then this one, they've showed like the same part, like if the person did the same part of a song or something, but it was just like that little 2-second thing. It wasn't like the whole, you know? It was cool. And it was interesting to see kind of their like, see a little bit more of them live and things like that too, because you got to see a little clips here and there, you know? Because that performance we watched live of Moonlight Sunrise was so good. especially with the microphone unfortunate issues. But they all powered through that one. Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously they're professionals. They've been, but yeah, I know they talked about it a tiny touch in the guide, but yeah, they were formed through a like a reality show program thing. Not reality show, but kind of like the Stray Kids had one, so like a survival show kind of. That's what I'm looking for. So yeah, actually, I believe it was Chaeryeong from ITZY was on that show, but she didn't get. She was like one of the last members to get taken away. So she was actually, I think it was Chaeryeong. Let me know if I'm wrong. But yeah, she was on that show and possibly could have debuted with Twice, but ended up going with ITZY, obviously.
Oh wow! See, that's dope.
Yeah,
I love stuff like that. I wish we had more stuff like that. We have like.
So they just started. JYP just started a America to Korea K-pop but American show. It's brand new. It started on YouTube a couple weeks ago. Yep.
What?
Yep. So they're coming to America and looking for Americans that. I don't know if they'll
the
sing.
premises, yeah.
I don't know if they'll. I don't think they'd sing in Korean. They'd probably be an all English kind of thing. But to come and train like a K-pop group and debut under
that's
JYP.
Incredible.
Yeah,
I would love. That's incredible.
It looked interesting. I have certain issues with JYP. So the Stray Kids survival show. Was rough. So I watched it. It's up on our Patreon if anyone's ever interested. Or watch it yourself. But caveat, warning, it's really rough because both Lino and Felix were actually ousted at one point, but then they were brought back in at the end, probably because there was a huge uproar and everyone wanted them back. But yeah, and watching that happen to them was devastating. They were bawling, like Seungmin was like bawling, Changbin was like, I could have helped you more, like it was and so I just get bad vibes from JYP, like the CEO guy. And I understand it's like reality TV and you're trying to make it things interesting or whatever, but he like crushed them and they were like 17.
Are they still?
They're still under JYP, yes. Yeah. So those are just my feelings about JYP, my personal opinions.
Oh, come on, Kay, with the tea, bitch. What?
Like, he crushed those boys.
No.
He crushed those boys. Crushed them.
When you say out, like, they were just told that they had to leave the group?
Well, yeah, so it was kind of like a survival show thing.
Kind of like the same as Twice. Okay,
yeah, kind of like what Baby Monster was going through the last evaluation. Oh, okay. So everyone was in the group, but they were doing evaluations, and as such, he was like, nope, you need to go. He would pick, like, 3 people per performance and say, like, no, you guys are in the bottom. And then he's like, you might be going, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, it was horrible. There was some great, like, behind the scenes stuff that was, like, fun to watch and stuff like that. But right. Yeah, it was awful. I don't think I've ever cried so hard. No, that's not true. But
wow,
he crushed those boys.
That's crazy. Yeah.
So it's just stuff like that. It's just like, and you know what? Like I do understand that it's kind of like they signed up for these things and just, you know what I mean? But like, I don't.
It's like at the same time, damn.
Oh, crush them. Anyway, I'm going to stop saying crush because I've done it like 20 times.
No, but that makes me think of, but see, when you like, and when I hear this, so obviously Kay is like, as you guys know, this is like Kay's shit. Like this is, K-pop is her thing. And like, it's like, I'm being introduced to all this and I'm learning and I'm seeing all this, just like as just a person who loves music, just learning about another type. And when I hear stuff like that, I'm like, oh my God, because now as somebody who's on the outside, I'm sitting here looking at Twice and being like, damn, like, did they go through that too?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't.
You know what I mean?
I haven't watched the show, so I don't know. I don't know the particulars. Right. The only thing I knew was just the ITZY thing.
Right, right.
But and that might have even been in the Stray Kids Survival Show because the very first episode, it was actually like ITZY. They weren't called that yet. Versus Stray Kids about who was going to debut. So then Stray Kids got picked, and that's when they started like the Survival Show. Yeah, but ITZY did. I think less than a year later they debuted. So, but yeah, yep.
That's incredible. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I'm a little hesitant to watch it, and I would be very hesitant to watch the Twice one too. There's something about it, just bad vibes. I don't know.
It's tough.
It could just totally be me, but but it's a cool idea,
right.
So I guess we'll see what comes of that.
Yeah, that's crazy. And honestly, you know what? Not for nothing. When stuff like that, like for instance, like knowing that and hearing stuff like that, it's like, okay, if you are kind of doing, a version where you're trying to create or whatever the premises of the show is, it's kind of a double-edged sword in the sense of like, okay, this is exciting because we get to see how it's done.
Yep.
But at the same time, now that you're introducing another country to that, I hope that maybe this will open the doors and open eyes for some conversations to maybe like change, I guess, whatever I don't want to say rules, but just change whatever it is that needs to be changed.
Yeah.
Maybe this will just bring more eyes to it. So it's just kind of like, oh, this might be a problem. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like, this might be something we should change, or this could really work out if we change these things.
Yeah.
So like, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Like, it makes me not want to see because it will just crush my heart to just see anybody's dreams get crushed like that in general.
Yeah.
But it also makes me be like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like, this is how in this day and age now we're creating our groups.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it would be interesting to see. And also we're always talking about like artist development not really being in our country like that, like it used to be. So this would be kind of interesting to see how this new generation, who maybe doesn't really know about artist development, to see what they go through, what it takes to be Twice, what it takes to be Stray Kids. Like,
right.
It would be interesting to see how that goes. But they're just a little, maybe they're just...
Yeah, I think it's something very specific. Because I've watched other shows and like just haven't gotten that same vibe. You know what I mean? So, but that, I haven't watched a ton either. But yeah. So who was your favorite member that you saw from the guy?
Well, I was going to say yes. I was like, just to kind of jump back over. Just
I know, sorry, we kind of went on a Stray Kids tangent. Listen, it was all JYP, but still.
Right. I mean, yes, it's all JYP.
Twice. Tangentially a little bit, but yeah.
So, just to throw this out there, because this guide was, again, focusing on their personality stuff, just to give you guys just their discography aspect of it all. They have 7 studio albums.
Nice, wow.
12 EPs.
Wow. It's so crazy how much music they put out.
Literally, they have 1 reissued studio album and 1 reissued EP, and then they have 4 compilation albums and 1 compilation EP.
Wow. It's so crazy. So much music.
Literally, and they've set a bunch of different records with sales.
I'm sure.
Definitely, specifically on Billboard charts, like they set a lot of different records.
Nice, that's awesome.
So definitely, if you get a chance, Wikipedia their discography and then look at all the stats and stuff. It's pretty incredible for, the things that they've accomplished in such a short time.
Yeah.
Now, going on to my unbiased.
Yes.
I really liked, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, is Geo.
Yeah.
I like Geo, and I liked, I can't remember who it was that was like a foodie.
Momo.
I was living for her.
The noodles,
the noodles, the whole shebang. Like, I'm such a foodie, so I was definitely connecting with her. And then I also was connecting with, I want to say, was it Mina, the lead of the group? Or like the one that was like considered like the group leader or whatever?
I don't remember.
I feel like it might have been Mina. There were so many members, and that was like, you know what I mean? They were trying to fit it all in that short span. But I just love the fact that like she was like massaging them and making sure they were okay. And then like when
I think that was Suyu. Oh, I can't remember now. I'm sorry.
I know, right? Because we were laughing so hard. That guy was everything.
Yeah, it really was. Fun.
But I just like them as a group. I just really liked how they were performing, and there was an open Dropbox or something that might have been there. And as they're performing, she just tried to made it as if it was a part of it and just pulled her aside. You know what I mean? Like it's just stuff like that. Like you can't make that up. Yeah. Like it's just, that was dope for me. Yeah. So it was that, but definitely Momo with the foodie. That was me. That's me all day.
Yeah, I really loved Momo, and then Sana. I really loved her. She was like the straight up gay vibes, very smooth operator.
Yes.
I think she was the one that was really clumsy too. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, and they said that she was the girl crush one. Like,
that's Jonghyun.
Oh, that was Jonghyun? I thought that was.
Because that's the one, she had the short hair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very girl crush. Actually, I really liked her too. I mean, I kind of liked them all.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sana definitely was like, I'd love to hang out with her.
Yes. That was so dope.
Yeah, I loved her.
There was just a vibe.
Yeah, they really were. They really were. That was a great guide.
Yeah.
I'm really interested in hearing more of their music now.
Yes. Especially all the albums they have.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's so much music.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like I said, I think the two I had heard before, just perhaps not the two I should have heard before. Do you know what I mean? Like very good songs, but just not my personal taste, you know? Because I really liked 90% of what, you know what I mean? I liked it all, but really liked, can't wait to put on my playlist, to kind of, the rest of them.
It's so crazy, just reading their stats and just reading about them. They, as of December 2020, they have sold 15 million albums in South Korea and Japan alone.
Wow, that's
crazy. Just there.
That's crazy.
I'm like, that is incredible.
You know what happens with groups like this? And I fall into this trap all the time, as you can see by my massive bookcase of merch, is that a lot of times they'll put out multiple versions of albums of things. Yes. So I know for Stray Kids, their latest one, they had 4 regular versions. They had an A, B, and C, and a diary version, or special edition version.
Oh, wow.
And then they had 8 separate ones, one for each of the members. Guess who bought them all? Of course. But yeah.
No, you did.
Yeah, unboxings to come, people, if they haven't been up on our channel already. But yeah.
The unboxing.
Yeah, we do those as shorts. So please go watch them because, yeah, I spent a lot of money on everything.
That is everything.
But yeah, I personally bought 12 of their albums. Do you know what I mean? Just from one release. For the sound, that was only a Japanese EP. I bought 3 or 4. You know what I mean? Because they had different versions of it, and all the different versions have different photo cards, and they have different posters.
It's just getting it all. Listen, I get it. I don't know if they do. I don't know if they do something
where it's they do a couple versions, and then they do one for each member, and then they do. You know what I mean?
I mean, if they do, we gonna find out, girl.
Right. So,
and also before we jump into my Nectar of the Week, just to let you guys know, their last EP came out this year. And it came out on March 10th, and it features the song which we featured was Moonlight, Sunrise. And I feel like we also talked about...
I think they had something since then. Didn't we do one that was since then?
They have Set Me Free?
Yeah, Set Me Free.
Yeah, so Set Me Free is from the same EP.
Oh, okay.
And...
they had a Japanese release very, very recently.
Because it said that they debuted at number 2 on the Billboard chart, selling 145,000 copies, making twice the 4th top 10 charting South Korean group and first female K-pop act to have 3 top 3 albums in the U.S. So they've had 3 of their EPs or albums debut in the top 3.
That's awesome. That's
which
really
is
cool.
super dope.
That's awesome.
So make sure you check that out.
Yeah.
So I figured this would be a nice little segue.
Yes, into what now?
Into B's Nectar of the Week.
And what does that be?
So basically what that is...
Did you see how smooth that was? That was really smooth.
Right, that was really smooth.
That was our best one.
All right, operator.
All right.
Okay. Right, come on.
Is it Sade? No,
yes, it is. Yeah.
No, I meant your choice. I knew that was Sade.
I did. That was smooth too.
A little too smooth.
Oh, damn.
I'm turning into Sana over here.
Yes, you are. So basically, this is a section of the show where I will talk about whether it's an artist or a group, and talk about them and how they relate to maybe their style, aesthetic, or whatever, relate somehow to the artist that we're featuring that week on our podcast. In this case, it's Twice. So basically, I'm going to tell you guys about an artist that their music and their vibes and everything remind me of Twice, and it will make me think that you guys would like them as well. And it's an artist that's outside of the K-pop realm to broaden your palette on music.
Yes.
And that. I always give Kay a little hint. Sometimes she doesn't need one, but this time she's definitely gonna need one because I went a little different with this.
Like I could have guessed ones that you've already talked about.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But yeah, this I don't know. All right.
Yes. So
hint away, good sir.
Yes. So this is going to be a good one. So what I will tell you first about this is the first hint is that it's not a group. It's one singular artist.
Okay. All right.
They have been out.
Okay.
For almost 20 years.
All right. Okay.
And they... The reason I picked them is because their music is similar to Twice.
Oh man, I don't think I know this one. All right, single artist, been out for almost 20 years, and similar to Twice. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
You want to take a swing?
No, because I really have no idea.
Just humor me.
Christina Aguilera.
Okay, I see that, but no.
Because she has like different sounding kind of music, but I didn't quite think it fit. You know what I mean? Is it the other one?
Who's the other one?
Britney?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
The other one, I call her. The other one.
No, I was trying to be careful with how I could give you hints because...
Yeah. Is it a male artist?
It's a female. And I was talking about them earlier. So that's why I was like, shh. I let it slip. But it's Ciara.
Oh, that's funny.
Yes!
Okay. All right.
So I picked Ciara. And let's get into it. Because, I mean, the queen that is Ciara.
Yeah. I don't know much about, like, her. Like, I know kind of a couple of her hits, but I don't know much about her. Other than literally she's been like blowing up in K-pop stuff lately. So
Right. So Ciara, her full name is Ciara Princess Wilson.
Well then.
Which is funny because when she first came out, they used to be like, the princess is here.
Nice.
So she was born in 1985.
Okay.
She's an American singer, songwriter, businesswoman, dancer, model, and actress. So she rose to prominence with her debut studio album, Goodies, in 2004.
I remember that, yeah.
Which spawned the top 5 songs, Goodies, featuring Petey Pablo, 1-2 Step, featuring Missy Elliott, and the song Oh, featuring Ludacris, which Goodies topped the Billboard Hot 100, so it became her not only debut single, but her first single ever to reach #1.
Oh, that's awesome.
The album was certified triple platinum and garnered 2 nominations at the Grammys. She also was featured during that time on Missy Elliott's You Lose Control. Music makes you lose control.
Yeah,
and then Bow Wow's Like You. I used to love that song. I ain't never had nobody show me. And it was just like
scales.
Yes. Oh my God. You would love it. I know you would love it.
Yeah.
And both of them reached #3 on the Billboard charts.
Nice.
Her second studio album, Ciara the Evolution, topped the Billboard 200 and spawned the hit songs Get Up, featuring Chameleon Air, the song Promise, which I used to love and play that song out. She had a song called Like a Boy, which was a big deal when it first came out because the song was really questioning and basically putting the what's the term I'm looking for? What is it where it's like, I cannot
like misogyny?
Yes, okay, like the misogyny and like
turning it around.
Yes, okay. And basically like how it's, you know, women are held differently than men.
Oh, they sure
so, you know, the lyrics are like, what if I had a thing on the side, made you cry? Would the rules still apply, or would they change up? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she was like, how would you feel if sometimes I wish I could act like a boy? And even in the video, it was very much like, I just remember it being such a big deal because so many people were heated, but it was just like, we're going to talk about all of these double standards.
Yeah.
It's the whole song is about double standards.
Nice.
So definitely check out Like a Boy because it really is dope. She also had a song called Can't Leave Him Alone featuring 50 Cent. And then her third studio album, Fantasy Ride, came out and she had a song on there with Justin Timberlake called Love, Sex, and Magic. I used to love that song. And it received a Grammy nomination again. Her next studio album, Basic Instinct, had a really big song on it called Ride featuring Ludacris. But after that album was met with low sales, she ended up leaving the record label, going to Epic Records, and releasing her 2013 album, which is called Ciara. Nice. And it had a hit song on there called Body Party, which samples the song by, I believe it's called it's the Ghost Town DJs from Atlanta, and the song is called My Boo, which if you heard it at night, I think of you, and they used to like play it in the 90s. Yeah. To be a lady, baby, if your name is on, give me a combo. Yeah. So she sampled it.
I remember that, yep.
And again, all of Ciara's music sounds just like that down south, that like bass and like that
down South Korea
like dance. But so Twice is all of their music sounds just like that. So it just made like it was just like, oh my god, the pairing.
Yeah.
She came out with her sixth studio album in 2015 called Jackie with the lead singer of I Bet and Dance Like We're Making Love. And then she ended up doing a modeling contract, all this other stuff. And then she came out with her seventh album, Beauty Marks, in 2019, which included the viral song that basically put Ciara back on the map, because I definitely feel like after her album Fantasy Ride, a lot of people wrote her off, like because her albums weren't selling and all this other stuff. And she just kind of
how sound comes back.
It does, because she created the song Level Up, and everything was like level up.
Yeah, that's her.
Level up. That's Ciara.
Oh, that's so funny. It's used in so many things.
Everything.
I had no idea that was her.
Blew up. It was off of her album. It was her first independent release called Beauty Marks, and the second Level Up came out. It just blew up.
Yeah.
She ended up hosting like the Billboard Music Awards multiple times. She performed on them. She performed on she's started performing and hosting Dick Clark's Rockin' Eve.
Oh, nice.
It was just like it just catapulted her back up there, and it just went
from what
there.
I know of her too, she seems like a good vibes girl. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like just like chill and very cool and very like just creative, and like I don't know, I just get that vibe from her. You know, I don't even know where I'm getting it from, but that's just the vibe I get.
Yes, no, I feel that,
especially because she's worked with so many people. I'm sorry, when you've worked with Missy Elliott, what more can you say, right? You know,
I mean, I feel that.
Yeah.
So more recently, she came out with a song in July of 2022 called Jump, which was the first release off of her new deal with Republic and Uptown Records that coincides with her own label, Beauty Marks Entertainment.
Nice, that's awesome.
So the song Jump came out in July, and in September she had another song came out with R&B singer Summer Walker that's called Better Things, which was huge. It was a big deal. That song ended up reaching number 13 on the R&B charts. And then she released a song this year in 2023 called The Girls.
Okay.
And it's basically a song that's talking about like, you know, this one here is for my girls, like for like my friends, and just like all that type of just like camaraderie and supporting each other.
Yep. And
it became, that song went viral as well. And now there's a bunch of different versions of it. She also released a song with Jackson Wang.
Yep.
And she was a surprise.
What was the name of it? I forget.
They performed, let me see, Slow.
Slow, that's right.
So
I have it on my playlist, I just couldn't remember the name.
Right? So it was like, they had a song called Slow, and as well as they performed the XG remix of the XG song Left Right.
Yep.
So they're both on it.
Yeah.
So they performed that as well. And
which is such a great song on its own, and then I really like their verses on it too.
Oh my god, it's just like everything.
Yeah.
And
it was such like a 90s R&B song to begin with, and then they just added that extra like little sparkle to it. It was so good, because I mean XG is amazing.
Oh my god,
we've talked about them all the time.
Oh my god, love her. Just love her. And the most recent release came out June 30th, nice. And it's called Get Loose, featuring Agnes Mo. So yeah, Ciara just has, like, she is definitely in the books. She will always be considered one of the greats. Yeah. She is considered our generation's version of Janet Jackson.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
And she actually did a tribute to Janet Jackson, and at the tribute, she did the If video by Janet, had the hair, the whole outfit. I'll have to show it to you. We have to look it up, because people were so, like, people thought it was Janet. And they were like, wait, what? So it was a big deal. Yes!
I love that song. I love that song so much.
It was so good.
That's yeah. That's, I remember trying to do that on my kitchen. Yeah. Like socks on, so you could like do the whole thing.
Right.
Very badly. Exactly. Oh my god. I can't tell you how many times I watched that music video. You know what's funny is, like, growing up, you always were like at the mercy of what was on them or whatever. Yes. And now you can just go watch whatever
you want. You literally have to listen. This is a perfect stay what section.
Yeah.
This is a palate cleanser. Basically, this is part of the show where we end things, whether we talk about the same subject or something different. Girl, this is a perfect time. I love that you just said that. Do you remember the days where you literally would pray that your favorite video or something would come up? And back in the day, we would have VCRs and we would make our own mixtapes, literally with tapes.
Yep. Yeah, we weren't allowed to watch MTV growing up in my house. But like in the summer, like I was the oldest, so I took care of my brothers. Mm-hmm. And, you know, my mom was working and my dad was in the Navy, so sometimes he was away and things like that. So, yeah, that's what we do all day long. We would send my youngest brother out to, there was like a little campground store down the road, and make him buy us like all sorts of
I love it!
Like Little Debbie stuff.
Yes!
And then we'd sit there and watch MTV. And yeah, whenever a cool video came on, we're like, yes, yeah.
I love that. What was the first music video you remember ever seeing?
Oh, I don't know. Probably Money for Nothing by Dire Straits. That's the one. It's very like very old computer graphics, and it's that's the one. Money. Oh God, how does it go? Like you know it if you heard it, you know what I mean. But yeah, probably that one. I like vividly remember watching that.
My first music video I ever saw, or ever remember seeing, like actually remember seeing, was Mariah Carey's Fantasy, and it was on VH1's pop-up video.
I love pop-up video.
And it was giving all the little hints and all that. I will never forget that.
Yeah, I loved pop-up video. It was so cool. It's kind of like
pop-up video.
What's really cool is that now, watching a bunch of K-pop stuff, almost all the groups will set like also post like a making of MV kind of videos and things like that. I love watching those things. Yep. It's MTV's so
Making the Video was my favorite show like ever. Like I used to love MTV's Making That Video.
Yeah.
That was
give me any sort of music documentary.
Yep.
I am here for it.
You want to know how much of a nerd I am with stuff like that? I think, if I'm not mistaken, the very first ever, we should probably look this up too, see if I'm even wrong. The very first ever MTV's Making the Video, I think, was Britney Spears' You Drive Me Crazy.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure.
I can see it. And that was the red jumpsuit thing, right? Like,
no, that was, oops, I did it again. You Drive Me Crazy was from
the movie, right?
Yeah, but that was from her first album, Baby One More Time.
Yeah.
But she did a remix version for the movie, like burn 'em, crazy.
Yeah. Yep. Oh my goodness. Yeah, music videos are so much fun, and like, oh my goodness, K-pop videos are like in like movies.
I know.
It's crazy.
They really are. Like, I was at this restaurant recently here in Rhode Island.
Oh, I can't wait to go check that out.
Listen!
He's texted me. He goes, and now they're playing Girls' Generation, and now they're playing Stray Kids, and now they're playing.
I was like, oh my god! And I'm sitting here just flabbergasted. Like, I know all these groups. Next to NCT Dream comes up, or NCT 127. I was like, wait, what?
Like, I know these.
I was like, and then Mamamoo came on.
Nice. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh my god! And I wasn't even texting everybody that came on. Mamamoo came on. Idol came on, Shiny came on.
Nice.
I was like, what is happening? It was so dope. But they were playing it on like movie screen projector size. And you're watching these, and everybody, I literally was just watching everybody in the restaurant, and everybody was in the middle of eating. And we're in full-blown conversations and are literally sitting here and like sitting from each other, and they're looking right at the thing talking. And I'm like, you can't help but look.
Yeah.
The videos are so
it's insane.
Ridiculous. But
but I love that because I don't know. I think it adds.
It brings the track to life.
It really does, and you can just see different concepts, and especially with K-pop, they have all the different storylines and things like that. So it's just really cool.
Super duper dope. But it brings it all the way back to this is why we love Twice, because Twice gives that energy. Like they are definitely here to stay. They've already made their mark, and in such just from 2015 to in 5 years, in just South Korea and Japan alone, 20 million or whatever, 15, 20 million albums and just in sales, singles, all that. That's like unheard of.
I know. It's crazy.
So I'm definitely excited to see where they go. They are destined for greatness. Yeah. They are really, really great.
Yeah, no, I really liked them. Can't wait to hear more for sure.
They need to have a K-pop festival here.
Well, they do. They have a couple. There's K-Cons in LA. They do one in New York. Yeah.
I was gonna say they should do.
I'm sure when they toured around.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the closest that they usually come is New York, but that's not too far for us.
But I'm just saying, like the way that I would love to see, like the way that they have, like Coachella so it's that size. Yeah. Oh, see, I'm learning, y'all. Yeah, so
they do K-Con, and like I know, they just did one in like Thailand, and I know ATEEZ went there. You know what I mean? So actually, they were just at another one in like, was it Madrid?
Imagine having a booth at one of these.
Did you know that Stray Kids headlined Lollapalooza in France and Paris? Yeah, that just happened the other day.
Oh my god!
Oh, and they did. I know you probably don't remember it by name, but they did a song called Heyday, which is just like a Three Rocha song. I did show it to you once, but it was like months ago.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite songs. They never perform it live, and they performed it live. So I've been watching clips, and I was very jealous of all the French people that were there.
I know that's one of my greatest things when an artist performs a song or a B-side or that they never do, and then they just decide to do it. You're like,
yep. I know. I love it. I love it.
But
and we love you guys. What else can we say? We hope you enjoyed. We really loved the Twice. We really can't wait to do more. And
love you guys so much.
We'll see you next time. Bye.